becomes grain. Another parable where the tiny little mustard seed becomes habitat for the birds of the sky. And then he takes his disciples and he explains everything in private. So I'm thinking, if I were one of the disciples in my current life situation today, and Jesus took me aside and explained these parables in private, not in a general sense, but this is how these parables in the kingdom of God is unfolding in your life. What would Jesus say to me? And what would he say to you? I think to me, he would say, you are not in control. Despite what you like, you're not in control. And part of my life right now is I'm leading the Catholic Conference Center. This is after months of prayer and discernment. I am absolutely certain the Lord wants me to lead and leave at the end of this month. It's been a beautiful 6 years, but the Lord has been very quiet about what he wants me to do after this. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Okay? And I don't like that. I like to control the circumstances of my life. I like to control my future. I like to have very ordered, parts of my life unfold. I like to know what's going on. But the message I got from the Lord, you are not in control. And he illustrated this with these two parables. So let's look at this first parable, and how does that speak to control? And I know I'm not the only one that likes to control the circumstances of my life, the people around me, the communication, even on social media, on the news. I like to control that too. So this first parable, the man goes out and he scatters seed. I looked at a couple really weird parts of this parable, because I think that's where the message lies. The first is he scatters seed. He scatters the seed. These are sustenance farmers, right? They eat what they grow, and if they don't grow anything, they don't have anything to eat, and they have to save a portion of the grain for the sowing of the next harvest. So you're starving, and you still have to save a portion. And then he's sowing it in the field. I planted sugar snap peas in my garden. And so I got this handful of peas. I put my finger in the hole, and put the pea in the hole, and I cover it there. And I move 6 inches down, I do the same. Right? This guy's crazy. Sowing seeds. And so in my life, and my uncertain circumstances in the future, the Lord is saying to me, don't worry about controlling the growth, the garden. Just sow seeds, and sow them generously and abundantly. Just sow seeds of love and hope and joy and encouragement. Seeds of faith and generosity, just sow them. And don't worry about how you space them and how deep you plant them and all that other stuff. Just let go. You be the sower, I'll be the grower. The second weird part in this parable is the farmer, after he does his sowing, he goes home and he leaves it alone. He sleeps, takes a nap. Let the garden take care of itself, right? Okay, my garden, okay, sow the seed, but I'm constantly weeding it, I'm watering it, I'm putting fertilizer on it, I'm thinning out the plants, I'm spending a lot of time taking care of this garden. But this parable, no, just sow the seed, that's your job, and go take a nap. And he's either a lousy farmer or a very lucky farmer, or starving to death, I'm not sure which. So So he sows these seeds, takes them in. And it's kind of speaking into my life too. Now, I need to order my garden. That's obvious. That's my job. Okay? But when I transfer this into my life, and the Lord doesn't want me to carefully separate the plants, mix them up, make sure that the tomatoes are over here and the beans are over there. Just so whatever. Don't worry about how am I going to fit all these things into my life, or what's going to go in that empty plot of land. This is sow the seed. God's going to fill in the spaces. God's going to separate the life of plants. Whatever God does in our life, God. So then we move to the second parable of the mustard plant. And it's a beautiful parable. It's the smallest of seeds. It grows into this tree that becomes a beautiful habitat for the birds. And you can imagine the seeds that people sow in our lives, have sown in our lives. Today's Father's Day, so certainly fathers have sown these seeds. And not one, you just wonder how they grow. Seeds of encouragement and pride and teaching. And it grows, as tiny as a seed grows in this beautiful plant. But there's a weird part of this parable too, in that the mustard tree Jesus is referring to was a rather invasive type plant. It had medicinal purposes, but it would reseed itself abundantly, meaning it would take over a field of grain. So when Jesus says, this is how the kingdom of God is, it's like this mustard tree, this medicinal plant that's going to take over your field of grain. So the farmers that might hear this might be like, what? That's the kingdom? So I had to think about, what is Jesus saying to me in this? And he's speaking to my nicely ordered field. The field I control, the field where I have attachments that keep me separated from God, the field that I have certain habits, and the field that I have my own particular agenda that's not in line with God's purposes. Maybe the field that I try to align other people's agenda to my agenda, not God's. So this is my field. And here's this mustard tree that's going to reseed and reseed and reseed. And it has the medicinal properties. So if I try to control my field, I'm constantly plucking out what Jesus is saying is the kingdom of God. As opposed to let the kingdom take over with its medicinal properties, this field I have of control. So imagine Jesus takes you aside and explains these parables to you and speaks into your life. What do you think this is? A lot of people have something to take away from online. So here's an idea. A lot of us do a little to-do list. This is what we need to do today. You go grocery shopping and you make this phone call. I need to pay the bill or whatever, right? And add 2 or 3 items to that list. These are the seeds I need to sow today. A seed of love, a seed of hope, a seed of joy, a seed of encouragement, a seed of patience. So add an item or 2 to your to-do list. This is the seed that I need to sow, because this is how the kingdom of God